Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm very thankful to Honourable Member from Umroj George Bilingdo, who has brought this motion, and other Honourable Member who have participated in this discussion, which deals with the very integral aspect of the mandate of Autonomous Council and institution under them. So, I would like to inform the House as follows. 1. The Constitution 73rd Amendment Act 1992 and the Constitution 74th Amendment Act 1992, which are not applicable to the 6 scheduled areas, brought in consideration a considerable devolution of power to local bodies in the rest of the country. In some areas, Autonomous Council in the 6 scheduled areas are less empowered than the Panchayati Raj institution functioning in other parts of the country. At present, there is no provision for recommendation of Finance Commission set up under Article 280 of the Constitution to provide separate fund for Autonomous Council in the 6 scheduled areas, which result in inadequate socio-economic infrastructure in Autonomous Council areas. In view of the same, it was decided to amend the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India to provide the following. 1. To amend Article 280 of the Constitution, enabling the Finance Commission to recommend measures needed to augment the consolidated fund of the state to supplement resources of 6th scheduled Autonomous Council, Village Council and Municipal Council. 2. To rename the existing Autonomous Council. 3. To increase the number of seats in this council. 4. To provide for reservation of at least 2 women in this council. 5. The provision where MDC is chosen as the member of state legislature or as MP, her seat in this council shall become vacant. To constitute the State Finance Commission in the state having the 6 scheduled areas. To conduct election to all Autonomous Council by the State Election Commission. Providing for distribution of elected members on account of faction. Constitution of District Planning Committee for each this council. 10. Constitution of the State Election Commission. The government of Meghalaya was required to keep its view on the provision of the bill. Several meetings between the government of Meghalaya and Autonomous Council and various NGOs representing tribal interests were held between 2019 till the time the announcement of the decision of the Cabinet referred in the motion. The deliberation in this meeting focused on the increased number of seats of this council, the reservation of women and unrepresented tribe, the constitution of village council and municipal council in 6 scheduled areas, and further devolution of power to them to achieve the objective of the bill. In the various discussion between the center and the state on this point, it was made clear that increase in number of seats has to be decided on the basis of population or the area of the autonomous district. For this purpose, the population as per 2011 census was taken into account. After the lengthy discussion and examination of the matter, it was decided to increase the number of seats in KHADC and GHADC to a maximum of 40, of whom 36 shall be elected on the basis of adult suffrage and the rest to be nominated by the governor, and GHADC maximum 32, of whom 30 shall be elected on the basis of adult suffrage and the rest to be nominated by the governor. The criteria for nomination of the member by the governor have been worked out by the government, and seats to be filled by nomination would not be reserved for unrepresented tribe. Devolution of power to the grassroots level of administration is considered necessary for development of activities to percolate to the village level. Further, the principle that the stakeholder would be in the most ideal position to identify their specific development needs and appropriately address them is being is being given due recognition by the government. This principle drives almost all planning and development activities in the country today. For this reason, the 125th Amendment Bill to amend the schedule to the Constitution has incorporated the Constitution of Village Development, a Village Council, and Municipal Council under the purview of this Council. The number of Village Council and Municipal Council to be formed, their composition and number of seats in each of such council are to be provided by the District Council through legislation. The number of allocation of seats in such council, the delimitation of territorial constituencies for the purpose of election to these councils on the basis of adult suffrage, the qualification for voting at the election to this council, qualification of being elected as member of these councils, as well as the ground for their disqualification, their term of office, the power to be exercised and function to be performed by this council are to be provided for by district council by legislation. The inherent customary tradition and practice for election of village heads such as Sirdar, Nokma, Rambashnong are still followed today. These practices are evolving but not quickly enough to provide for participation of women association. Yet, the modern day definition of democratic practice includes the participation of women in all political, social, and economic activities and the decision-making process for all these activities. Giving due regard to this requirement, as well as our custom and culture, which define us, it was decided that the village council / village darbar under this council, as per provision stipulated in the amendment bill, with the slight difference. The village council / village darbar will be headed by the Sirdar, Nokma, and Bashnong, elected as per existing practice. The ex-officio chairman as the ex-officio chairman of the council / darbar. The secretary and other member of the village council / village darbar shall be elected from amongst the inhabitants of the area in accordance with the democratic institution and processes. It is expected that this arrangement will not only satisfy the objective of amendment bill, but also to bring out the harmonized, the best of both worlds towards the better future. So, as I already stated, the main contention here is nominated member. I have already stated that to be nominated by the governor on the criteria determined by the government, not the word unrepresented tribe should not be there. Number two, regarding the role of village council / village darbar, as the case may be, so I will again say the power and function of village council / village darbar shall be as per norm prescribed under the prevailing rule of respective district council. So we have two aspects here. We have seen that the role of the district council is paramount in determining the function of these bodies, which as and when it is being amended by the Constitution. So with these few words, I think I have covered to some which are deliberated in this House. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I thank the Honourable Minister for the reply. Even though I'm not satisfied with the issues that I have raised and the concerns that I have raised in this House, especially on the use of the term underrepresented tribes. Sir, it is in the main bill, which if passed by Parliament, it will become an act. So therefore, sir, this opens up a space for contest. How will the rules bypass the law, sir? If the term unrepresented tribes, as expressed by the Honourable Member for Morinkaneng, has been, as also a member of the District Council, has expressed on the floor of this House that the term unrepresented tribes be excluded from the bill. The government still insists that the rules will be there to protect. Now, sir, if we are not clear as to who the unrepresented tribes would be, because there is no mention of a schedule also in the Act, which will again open up space for various tribes to claim for representation in the Khasi Hills, on the proposed Khasi Hills Autonomous Territorial Council. If the term unrepresented tribes could be removed for Jainti Hills Autonomous Territorial Council, sir, what is preventing the government from removing it from the Khasi Hills Autonomous Territorial Council? That's number one. Number two, sir, empowerment of the traditional institutions has been the intent of every state government, of every district council. So, but then the question is, why is it so hard for the government of India to recognize, accept and empower our existing traditional institutions with the barest minimum restructuring, sir? So, the imposition of election laws and rules on traditional institutions, rather than, we are seeing that imposition rather than moving for codification of our traditional democracy and practices. So we are seeing the very intent of imposing laws whom we are yet to be exposed to, and therefore, sir, down the years, we may see the extinction of our traditional democracy and practices. So therefore, sir, with these concerns, I would still urge upon the Honourable Minister to try to rework on the presentation that we as a state give to the Government of India on the final bill that is pending for Parliament, before Parliament, or would be presented before Parliament, sir. So at least these concerns would be addressed. But then another concern, sir, is that what are the differences of opinion between the state government and the district council? That we would like to know, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have already mentioned that the difference is, as I have already mentioned, is that the recommendation of the bill for the number of seats, the Karo Hills Autonomous Territorial Council shall consist of not more than 42 members, of whom 36 shall be elected on the basis of the suffrage, and the Governor will nominate 6 members, whom at least 2 shall be women and at least 4 shall be from the unrepresented tribe. So there is issues here. As I have also stated, the number of seats which have, after thorough deliberation, we have recommended, and that the nomination should be as per determined nominated by the governor on the criteria to be determined by the government. Number 2, sir, the issues, the difference, I'm talking major difference, is regarding the role of village council and village darbar. Now, I will state fully that there shall be a village council / village darbar in every village duly recognized by the Khasi Hills Autonomous Council, Karo Hills Autonomous Council, and Jainti Hills Autonomous Council. The Sida, Nokma, Rangbashnong, headman of the village darbar shall be the ex-officio chairman of the village council town, whereas the secretary and member shall be from amongst the inhabitants of the area. The power and function of the village council darbar shall be as per norm prescribed under the prevailing rules and law of the respective district council. Because as per the amendment, within the period of 1 year from the date of commencement of the Constitution, 125th Amendment Act 2019, each council shall establish a village council and a village or a group of village in rural areas, and municipal council for the urban areas or an agglomeration of such urban areas. So we reiterated that the government of India should recognize the role of this village darbar / village council. That's why this will work under the prevailing rules of the respective district council, sir.
Sir, I think we have raised various concerns and also draw the attention of the government. So perhaps these can be further elaborated and discussed before I think we can finally see another draft of the bill coming, sir, before it is put up before Parliament for passage, sir.